Gervonta "Tank" Davis issued a stark warning to Lamont Roach during their final press conference ahead of their much-awaited showdown.
You know, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me regardless. I told him to leave his mom's and, you know, the people home, and he still brung them. It's crazy, man. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad, man.
The final press conference of Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach was nothing less than exciting as the two fighters went toe-to-toe verbally, trying to look mean for their fight to come. Gervonta said that Lamont has been saying a lot lately, and he'll see come Saturday night when he faces Tank in the ring.
But, you know, it's all love. You've been talking a little too much, too. I've been peeping, so, you know, it's close, so we'll see Saturday night.
Tank asked Roach why he brought his mom to see their fight, implying that he shouldn't have brought her. This was said because Tank doesn't want to beat the mercy out of Roach in front of his mother.
You know, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me regardless. I told him to leave his mom's and, you know, the people home, and he still brung them. It's crazy, man. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad, man. But, you know, it's all love. You've been talking a little too much, too. I've been peeping, so, you know.
On the other hand, Roach is looking to become a champion at 135 pounds by defeating Tank this Saturday. Being a champion at 130 pounds already, Roach is eyeing to give the fight to Tank and take his position as well, his belt in the division.
Come Saturday, man, y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. My prediction is and the new.
Roach feels confident in himself going into this fight. Being the underdog, Roach likes people to think of him like this and wants to prove them wrong once the bell rings on Saturday night.
I don't really care too much about the outside critics. I know what I could do in the ring, and that's the only thing that matters, honestly, is that I go out and give it my all and perform, and most likely, 9 times out of 10 when I do that, I'll be victorious.
When asked about the prediction for this fight, Tank was clear. He said that everyone knows why he's here and what he's here to do, hinting at a brutal knockout. However, Tank made sure to keep it polite, knowing that Roach's mother was present in the crowd.
Go in, Moms. You know what I come to do, man. You know why I'm here. I don't want to say too much. Mom Deuce over there in the corner, so gotta keep it polite. But, yeah, I know, the fireworks.
At last, the two fighters came face to face where they were seen talking to each other constantly, which might be because they know one another well back from their amateur days. Coming to the predictions for this fight, Lenny Wilson took a more measured approach, focusing on the strategic aspects of the bout. He noted that both fighters would need to execute their game plans perfectly if they are to have any chance of succeeding. Roach's ability to maintain movement and stay elusive will be crucial, as Davis's explosive power is a constant threat in the ring. Wilson didn't predict a definitive winner, instead suggesting that both fighters would have to rely on their respective strategies, with Davis's superior physical attributes ultimately tipping the scales in his favor. He felt it was unlikely that Roach would be able to impose his will on Tank, given the latter's overwhelming skill set.
So I think that if Lamont Roach got a good chin, you dig it, then it could go the distance. If you don't, Tank is gonna put him out. But it can also go the distance because Tank know how to box too. I've watched him in the ring. I've watched him in the gym. I see what he can do. You understand? So, but if I had to bet my money, I'm gonna bet my money on Tank.
Michael Fox, who has sparred with both Davis and Roach, also weighed in with his own thoughts on the fight. Fox acknowledged that while Davis's knockout power is widely recognized, his technical boxing abilities are often overlooked. Roach, with his unique style, might pose some problems for Tank, particularly with his movement and ability to stay out of range. Still, Fox pointed out that Davis has the ability to change the course of a fight with a single punch, which makes him an ever-present threat to Roach. Fox also addressed the power dynamic, highlighting that Roach has the ability to hurt opponents, citing his near stoppage of Jamel Herring as an example.
Think about both fighters, Tank and Lamont. They're both very impressive boxers. A lot of people forget that just because Tank is also a big puncher, but You know, this is gonna be chess. It's gonna be chess. It's gonna be both guys trying to one up each other a bunch of times. So it's definitely not gonna be sweet. We know Tank had the equalizer, but the biggest difference I feel in Lamont versus Tank's other opponents, we all know Tank a different way than everybody he's fought against previously.
While Roach might have enough power to make Davis respect him, Fox suggested the real question is whether Roach could test Tank's chin when the stakes are higher, especially under the bright lights of a major fight.
Would you say his power is also a huge factor in this fight?
He has enough power to be respected, to get his respect in the ring. You know, he won't be taken lightly. He won't be taken lightly by Tank. You know, anybody that's been in the ring with Tank, myself included, we know, like, you know, you come in there lackadaisical, throw anything lazy, he will counter. And he like you said, he put some folks down. Can he put them away? I don't know. We haven't really seen Tank in no trouble, but like I said, he hits hard enough to gain respect.
Bruce Carrington gave his perspective on Roach's ability to withstand the pressure Tank is known for. Carrington noted that Davis's relentless aggression and pinpoint accuracy could wear down Roach as the fight progresses. While Carrington described the fight as being potentially entertaining, he ultimately predicted that Tank would secure a stoppage victory, likely due to the cumulative effects of his aggressive style. Carrington's prediction pointed to the pressure Davis would exert on Roach, which could be too much for him to handle over the course of the fight.
Good matchup because of that. Lamont's style is pretty well too. I wouldn't say he has, like, you know, that much pop to keep Tank off of him, but I feel like his style is pretty good to fight to match up with Tank. But I still don't see him being enough to stop Tank. I still think that Tank stops him probably in the later rounds, mid to late rounds. And but I think it'll still be an enjoyable fight to watch.
Regis Prograis offered a different viewpoint. He suggested that the fight could go the distance, with Roach providing a more formidable challenge than many expect. Drawing a comparison to Davis's fight with Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Prograis speculated that Roach's tenacity and experience might allow him to drag the fight into deeper rounds than Tank's previous opponents. Prograis, while still backing Davis to win, believed that Roach's resilience could make this a much tougher test for Davis, one that could reveal more about Tank's ability to adapt under pressure.
I feel a distance. I feel Tank distance. Yeah, I feel Tank, but distance in a controversial fight. How about that? Oh. Tank distance and people in a controversial one. You know, something like kind of like how Pitbull was, like that.
Oscar De La Hoya echoed the sentiments of several others who confidently predicted a dominant victory for Davis. He pointed to the size and skill advantage that Davis holds over Roach, suggesting that Roach's talent would ultimately not be enough to overcome Davis's superior physicality and experience. De La Hoya described Davis as a beast in the ring, praising his ability to slip punches and land precise shots that often leave opponents unaware of the damage they've taken. He highlighted the significant challenges Roach would face in dealing with Davis's elusive style and deadly punching power, noting that Tank's overall skill set would make it very difficult for Roach to mount a serious offense.
Good matchup because of that. Lamont's style is pretty well too. I wouldn't say he has, like, you know, that much pop to keep Tank off of him, but I feel like his style is pretty good to fight to match up with Tank. But I still don't see him being enough to stop Tank. I still think that Tank stops him probably in the later rounds, mid to late rounds. And but I think it'll still be an enjoyable fight to watch.
Derek Bozy Ennis also expressed strong confidence in a Davis victory. Ennis acknowledged that Roach has skills, but he emphasized that Davis's superior attributes, combined with his extensive experience in high-profile fights, would be the deciding factors. Ennis underlined Davis's ability to adapt to any situation, which has allowed him to dominate in various types of matchups. In his analysis, Davis's combination of speed, power, and boxing IQ was simply too much for Roach to handle.
I think that's be a good fight, man. I think it'd be a good fight, man. Him and Tank. I think that'd be a real good fight, man. You know what I mean? I think I would have to go with Tank, though. I would have to go with Tank. You know what I mean? But I think it's a real good fight. You know what I mean?
However, Stephen A. Smith raised an interesting point regarding the potential size difference between the two fighters. Smith noted that Roach's decision to move up in weight could leave him at a significant disadvantage when facing the raw power and strength of Davis. While Smith acknowledged the skill of both fighters, he emphasized that the physical disparity between them could be a crucial factor in the outcome of the fight. He drew comparisons to past instances where Davis had dominated opponents who moved up in weight, such as Frank Martin, who struggled against Tank's power. Smith's main concern was that Davis's ability to overpower opponents physically would give him the edge over Roach, making it hard for the latter to compete on equal footing.
I think Roach is too small, and that's my issue. I'm not questioning the skill set or anything like that, but it was similar to Frank Martin. You know what I mean? This guy comes in there and you got 18 fights, and I remember watching that pre-fight press conference when he was annoying Gervonta Davis so much, and he cussed by accident. Excuse me. He cussed by accident. He was like, "Ooh, you know, making this up. He hurt me in sparring," and you know, and I knew Gervonta was going to come for him, and sure enough, that's what he did. Walked right towards him from round one on.
Brendan Taylor took a more analytical approach in his assessment, pointing out that while Roach is undoubtedly talented, he is at a disadvantage in nearly every significant aspect of the fight. Taylor argued that for Roach to emerge victorious, Davis would need to make significant mistakes, something that Taylor considered highly unlikely given Davis's experience and composure. He further suggested that Davis's heightened motivation, given the local rivalry between the two fighters, would add an extra layer of intensity to the contest, making it even less likely for Roach to overcome his opponent.
He's trying to open up that punch as much as possible, and I think like everyone's picking Tank. We know Lamont Roach is a good fighter. Like I don't want to down Lamont Roach, make it sound like he's not a good fighter. He's a world champion, but in my opinion, they picked him for a reason. He's outgunned in every department.
He's outgunned in every department.
Everything Tank does well, or not Tank, Lamont does well, Tank does at a much higher level. Yep. So it's gonna like you said, he's gonna need Tank to have a letdown. To be honest with you, I don't think Tank is going to have a letdown.
Mikey Garcia shared his perspective on the matchup, emphasizing Davis's knockout power as a standout factor. Garcia praised Tank's ability to deliver devastating punches, which he believes sets him apart from other fighters in the division. For Garcia, it's not just Davis's power, but also his experience and confidence that make him a nearly unbeatable opponent. He noted that Tank's self-assurance and understanding of his own abilities enable him to execute his game plan with precision, further complicating matters for Roach. Garcia confidently predicted a Davis victory, highlighting Tank's impressive track record and reputation as one of the most feared fighters in the sport.
Who do you think wins as well?
Honestly, I think Tank is one of the very best fighters, definitely in the lightweight division. I don't think Roach will be a huge threat for Tank. Tank is very talented, very skilled, and also very experienced at this point now. He's fought and seen pretty much every style there is, and his power.
Showbiz the Adult introduced an element of uncertainty into the predictions. He speculated that Davis's ongoing issues with his promotional team could affect his focus and preparation for the fight, potentially leading to a performance that is less than what fans have come to expect from him. While many analysts were confident in a Davis victory, Showbiz raised the possibility that these external distractions might make Tank more vulnerable than anticipated. He suggested that the combination of Davis's natural talent and the mental and emotional turmoil outside the ring might leave him more susceptible to Roach's challenge. Showbiz even recommended that fans and bettors consider betting against Davis, highlighting the unpredictability that might emerge from the internal struggles Davis is facing.
Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't seem happy business-wise, and he doesn't seem happy about the sport of boxing, saying boxing suck. He hasn't been sounding positive. His latest post of the fight is effing canceled. On top of that, him deleting his socials and stuff like that. It's just a bunch of stuff outside that makes me think, is he really focused on this fight? And even if he's focused, because Gervonta Tank Davis definitely is a professional, he definitely don't want to lose a fight, you can suspect or expect this to be the best Lamont Roach you've ever seen versus probably the worst Gervonta Tank Davis you ever seen. I just never seen Gervonta's situation so so wild. Okay, it's just so untamed right now, and it's not really together.
Al Bernstein summed up the general sentiment shared by most of the experts. He confidently stated that Roach simply does not possess the necessary tools to defeat Gervonta Davis. While Bernstein acknowledged Roach's achievements and skill, he pointed out that Davis's overwhelming skill, experience, and physical superiority would likely prove too much for Roach to handle. Bernstein expressed his respect for Roach, but emphasized that it's hard to imagine an upset victory when faced with someone as dominant as Tank.
You know, Roach is coming up in weight. He came up in weight through himself. I don't see, honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see, he's nothing in his past tells me he's going to beat Gervonta Davis or even be competitive with him. And I'm not, it's not a denigration of Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter.
Ryan Garcia, who has shared the ring with Davis before, offered his own take on the fight, acknowledging Roach's technical skills but noting that he lacks the raw power and physicality to compete with someone like Tank. Garcia stressed that boxing is not just about technique, but also about the ability to command respect in the ring. In his view, Roach's lack of knockout power would prevent him from establishing any real rhythm against Davis. Garcia believed that Davis's overwhelming physical presence and knockout power would be the deciding factors in the fight, making it impossible for Roach to mount any serious challenge.
I think Lamont Roach just doesn't have the firepower to, hold off Tank. I think he has great skills, but I don't think he has the firepower to get Tank's respect, and I think that you have to have that. If you don't, then you really have no chance. So it's kind of similar, like to me and Devin Haney. I just didn't respect anything he threw, and anytime I wanted to land, I did. So I think it's going to be a similar, not similar fight, but I think it's a similar aspect that he's not going to be able to get him off.
Raleigh Romero shared a similarly confident view, asserting that no one could match Davis in the critical areas of boxing: punching power, technical ability, and physical attributes. Romero pointed out that while some analysts believe other fighters might be able to outbox Davis, he felt none of them came close to Tank's overall skill set. He also suggested that Roach's decision to move up in weight could work against him, potentially slowing his reactions and making it even harder to match Davis's speed and power. For Romero, the size and power disparity between the two fighters made it nearly impossible for Roach to keep up with Davis in this high-stakes battle.
Even like I said, like, man, you could say, oh, like, you can make a claim like, oh, maybe like this person's a better boxer, but he's not a better boxer than Tank. He's not a bigger puncher. He's not bigger than Tank. He's moving up in weight, so that might affect him, make him a little bit slower.
Right.
Tank has a crazy ring IQ. Tank has the better legs. Like, bro, you can't make a claim for any of this stuff.
However, Jermaine Ortiz offered a more nuanced take. While he acknowledged Tank's knockout power, Ortiz pointed out that Davis has mostly fought smaller opponents in the past, and this fight with Roach, who is moving up in weight, could present a new dynamic. Ortiz suggested that if Davis tried to box from the back foot, it might not go as smoothly as it has against other fighters. He advised that Tank should use his aggression to walk Roach down, just as he has done with larger opponents in the past. While Ortiz didn't necessarily favor Roach, he believed Tank would need to adjust his strategy to effectively handle Roach's skill and movement in the ring.
We'll see. I just think that Davis really got that knockout power. He doesn't have a lot of output. He's fighting somebody who's closer to his height. I think it would be more of a fight. I think the last time he fought somebody shorter than him was Pitbull, and he tried to box him and he came out. A lot of people didn't like that fight in the sense of, I assume people thought Pitbull won the fight, or it was just a closer fight.
So what are your thoughts about this? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.